Yeah.
All right, folks. John is shooting this. John, say hello.
Hello,
Tell him who you are and what you do here.
I'm John. I'm a producer at The Fan.
Full name, please.
John Bridge.
Just in case something goes wrong, they'll know who to blame. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Andrew Filipponi.
I'm back.
Getting ready to
Right
go.
when I thought I was out, you sucked me back in.
That's how it works with my nationality, and we know where you live. Listen, I got to ask you, though. You're going network here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
CBS has done a great job covering this fight.
Well, because Showtime.
Yeah, I know. That's part of their brand, but they really have been all access all the time. And, of course, Liev Schreiber doing that wonderful thing that is seen on Showtime as we speak.
Would you call it a fight?
What's that?
Would you call it a fight? Does it?
Yeah, listen, they're both combat fighters. I mean, one more so than the other. And I do believe it's going to be very difficult for him not to kind of revert to his old ways.
McGregor.
Yes. But it comes down to the striker. And I still believe because he can throw punches in bunches, and he has the ability with the jab, something that Conor McGregor has never defended against. Younger legs or not, he's going to have a hard time moving in to where he wants to land the one big shot, because in his mind, it's a street brawl. If he can't throw him and bang him off of the canvas, or he can't choke him out, put him to sleep as he likes to call it, he's going to throw haymakers. That's what he's going to do because he's in great shape. He's going to be about 170 pounds when this thing gets
Let me
underway
ask you a question.
tonight.
Do you think
strong, very strong.
Do you think that there's a boxer in the city of Pittsburgh right now, in McGregor's weight class, who could beat him?
No. And I'll tell you why. With all due respect.
You don't think there's a guy training?
No.
You think if Spadafora fought him right now, he'd beat him?
Not right now. If he had a little time, he'd beat him on points. But this guy is a fighter who is a fine-tuned fighter who's involved in the UFC. Whether you like it or not,
Yeah.
their endurance, their strength, their stamina, and most importantly, right here, their heart is bigger than any athlete on the planet. Dana White doesn't make it into a billion-dollar brand by putting people in there who are afraid to take a hit, to
Sure.
give a hit. The mentality of Conor McGregor is, I'm going to just leave it all right here. The only way he has a chance, in my opinion, is if he can find a way to get literally underneath, behind that jab, and start landing body shots. If he can't do that early, you're going to know how this fight's going to go in the first couple of rounds. I don't think, because he hasn't done it in any of his fights really in a long time, he's going to get a 10 count on Conor McGregor. I don't think Floyd Mayweather is going to knock him out. What's going to happen here? He is going to find a way, using defensive skills, to land enough to score points, because it is a boxing match, okay? And he's going to win this thing on a decision. I don't believe, and I love Floyd Mayweather, I don't think this should go against Rocky Marciano's record of 50-0, which he is now tied with at 49-0. I think everything else is good, and there will be a rematch. Remember where you heard it. No matter how ugly this thing is, good, bad, indifferent, when you're taking home after pay-per-view is in, 300 million, meaning Mayweather, 100 million McGregor, and everyone stands to make a $500 million, it's got rematch written all over it, and it's not a Rocky sequel.
I think you're bang on with most of what you said there. I wonder if for McGregor, you know, if he is more conservative stylistically or tactically in this fight because of what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if he can, you know, to go back to your Rocky narrative, if he lasts with Floyd Mayweather for 12 rounds and loses on cards and doesn't embarrass himself and doesn't disparage the sport, if the critics will come out afterwards and say, you know, for the guy's first fight against one of the greatest of all time, he didn't do that bad, which segues into either a rematch or McGregor, you know, gets in the ring with another prize fighter at some point. So I think that's, you know, I think what we both can agree on is the hype for this fight will not match the actual product tonight. I don't think we're going to see what people are shelling $100, you know, per pay-per-view. I don't think they're going to get their money's worth.
And you can go to local movie theaters too for $40.
You're not going to see a knockout, right? We're not going to see somebody. We're not going to see one.
Listen. McGregor has the better punching power, and
so you think if there's a knockout, there's a better chance McGregor knocks him out than the other way around?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And let me tell you what else the other intangible is. You've heard of the 12th man in football, okay?
Well, he's got a home crowd tonight, even though it's
It's like the World Cup that's broken out.
That's St.
in Las
Patrick's
Vegas.
Day
Right.
in Vegas.
And that's great.
Yeah, sure.
So it's going to have all the drama, all the hype, and just like the Irish, a lot of green. This is going to be bigger than the Super Bowl online betting, sports book betting. This is huge. To me,
Well, in your opinion, what's the right bet?
right bet?
Yeah. Do you
Mayweather, decision. Okay? But here's what worries me. If McGregor would win, for being a boxing fan, that could be a major blow to the sport pay-per-view wise, because this is the biggest pay-per-view fight since Pacquiao 2015. But also what could happen if it's close.
Yeah.
Now the true UFC fan's not going to have a home base,
Sure.
nor is the boxing fan, because they're going to be interlapping over and over.
If McGregor wins, will you question the legitimacy of the fight?
For those of us who question everything, because you know what you think about.
Well, no, but boxing's
No. I question the fact that somebody's not already thinking rematch. But I believe both of these fighters have such pride, they would never let that happen.
So you don't believe...
This isn't the 1950s anymore.
This
isn't Jake LaMotta.
This isn't Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction. He's not betting on himself to lose, dives, and runs.
But I'll
off
tell you
the line.
what, making another movie now, you know what it is a lot alike? Hulk Hogan and Rocky. And I'll tell you why. Even though we all know it's entertainment, but we know the great Ric Flair is suffering right now and we wish him the best, it's still, you got to have stamina and you have to be an athlete. But what comes down to this fight is what usually makes or breaks anybody in the world. It's that three-letter word, ego.
Yeah.
And both of these guys got big egos.
Huge.
So
neither one is a very likable personality for me. Mayweather, for obvious reasons.
the only thing I don't like, Andrew, and being the parent of a couple of kids, old enough to know what the words mean, too much foul language. You know, you don't need to do that. I mean, Ali was great. He wasn't dropping these horrible words over and over and over. Like, it's almost like who can swear more.
Yeah.
They don't need to do that. They're great athletes. They're big-time professionals. And what's amazing, Mayweather started to really back it down now, listening to some of the audio, giving him a lot of respect. McGregor has not.
That's his gimmick. I think that's his brand.
It's not going to work against McGregor. And you know what somebody always said? Like Belichick would say, when you get to the end zone, be like, you've been there. Act like you've been there before. This screaming and shouting and there's no place for it in boxing, I don't think. Maybe even the UFC. I think you need to do your talking in the ring.
The one thing I would disagree with you on is I think that a lot of times sports match reality or match society or real life, and I think that it makes sense to me that what will end up being the most purchased fight in boxing history.
It's not even a real. If you look at it from the purest standpoint,
right? But I mean, what sells? I mean, people yelling and screaming and
here's what the UFC has done. They've taken away the gladiator appeal of boxing.
Sure.
And people, it's like they love it. That's what they want to see. I got to ask you, then we're going to let you go to work.
Sure.
Going on the network today, and of course every day, 10 until 2 with the great journalist from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Ron Cook, 93.7 The Fan. How do you see this thing unfolding?
I'm just going to basically say exactly what Teddy Atlas said the other day.
Great
I heard him and I just thought I'm going to basically parrot everything you're saying. I'm just going to make sure I give you the credit for it. He said that he believes Mayweather will not change his defensive style. He'll be true to himself. Therefore, he'll avoid any kind of big punch from McGregor. He'll beat him on the cards in every round, and he'll win this thing in 12 rounds. And, it won't be good for boxing because, yet again, it'll be another event, much like the Pacquiao fight, where fans will have paid a lot of money and they won't be satisfied with the product that they get. So that is also my prediction. I think if McGregor was going up against, and again, I'll steal this from Atlas, I think if he were fighting a guy like Canelo, who had a reputation for being a fighter who went right at you, I think McGregor would get knocked out in a round or two. But I don't think that Mayweather is that type of
He's not
fighter.
a knockout fighter.
Therefore, I think that this fight, if your definition of getting your money's worth is being able to watch, 10, 11, 12 rounds, you'll get that tonight. I just don't know how compelling those rounds will be.
There's a reason why Dana White is so smart. He didn't put him in there with a Triple G or Canelo. He put him in there
Golovkin would destroy him.
Oh, yeah. He put him in there with a guy who he knows is all about scoring points. So that means his fighter has a chance to land the punch that takes the UFC into the stratosphere.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Andrew Filipponi.
Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome. Have a good day, everybody.